sort of saying 2 out of 3. That's the proportion of current jobs that are exposed to or will likely to have some form of automation replace them. So it's a significant part of our workforce if we look at workforce and the work that we do that has that opportunity for some level of AI automation. 25% is the average portion of those current roles that could be automated, because of course it's not everything. You know, if you think of the things that we all do, where there's a range of things. Some of our tasks are menial, some of them are higher level creativity and thinking, some of them require a lot of context and judgment. So the capacity to automate a job, of course, sometimes exists, but it's more likely component parts of jobs, which is both an opportunity but also a challenge in how we think about org design, cost in organisations, and we'll talk more about that later. Reduce burnout, so obviously there's a double-edged sword to sort of as we think about AI, but the capacity to lighten the load and increase productivity, but not through pushing people more. So there's something around wellness and health that sit in there as possibilities. And I think our last talking point was on this idea of being, burnout. And we know it's still a thing in organisations. And of course, this potentially has the opportunity to help, but also the amount of change and disruption that this presents also has the opportunity to contribute to that as well. 17%, that's the proportion of organisations currently using or experimenting with an internal instance of AI, or generative AI. And we know that this is readily available. Most organisations have either paid for it or have access to it, but only 17% have gone down the path of experimenting with what that will mean, and 40% of organisations are not ready to take advantage of or consider AI in any way. So it's an interesting point that we're at, something that's moving at massive pace, that we've got early adopters who stand to gain a lot, but also that means there are organisations who stand to lose a lot, and perhaps more so than any other disruptive change or certainly technology, but disruptive change we've ever seen. I think this is a central idea for today, is going, how do we start to take a more positive and proactive stance on what this is, what this could be, around where are we finding the work to build the capability of people in our organisations, and for our certainly young people coming through the organisation, because that does take out layers of important work in many ways that relate to, if you want to call it executive function, getting to the level where you really experience. Well, that's built on some foundations.